guys, what's up? I am back again with my recap and review for The Real Housewives of Dubai. This is season 1, episode 1, Sand Dunes and Don'ts. And let me just tell you guys, I had to get myself together here just a little bit, because when I tell you this show gave me so much freshness, so much excitement, just so much richness all together. The designer, the fashions, just the richness of everything has me super duper thrilled for what is to come with this new franchise. Like, this is something that I honestly did not know I was missing until I realized, watching it, like, wow, I'm loving this. And it's something that, I like to think we've been missing, and sorry, y'all, my lash got me a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna keep rolling right on through. I love it. So before we get into this review, as always, I am Janice, Barb, whatever you prefer to call me. Just do not call me Janice or Barbara. And like I said, this is going to be my recap and review for The Real Housewives of Dubai. So guys, when we first jump into the episode, we're actually kind of informally introduced to the ladies, and none of these ladies are anyone I'm personally familiar with, although one or two of the ladies have been on different shows over the years. I didn't know who they were, but I do now. And that's actually an element I kind of liked. After watching the episode, I looked into some information about the ladies, and everything that was told on the show is correct. But like, what I really liked about this show is that there's a lot more than meets the eye with these women. And I really am intrigued and want to know more and want to see more into their lives. It seems like they're very multifaceted. They have a lot going for themselves and a lot of depth. So I'm really excited for that. But nonetheless, we're introduced informally real quick to all of the ladies. We have Sarah. She is a divorced mom of one. She's a tech entrepreneur, and she's just riding a four-wheeler in the desert. She is from the UAE, and she speaks Arabic, I believe. She's a Muslim woman, and she's a rebel, a self-proclaimed rebel, which we'll get into that a little bit later, but she is very devoted to her culture as well. We also meet Chanel Ayan, and she is currently the fan favorite so far from what I have seen on the blogs and across YouTube and everything. And I'd have to agree so far. But she is from Kenya. She's a married mom of one, and she is Dubai's first black supermodel, honey. And when I say she is giving, she is giving. All the ladies are giving, but when I tell you Miss Ayan is giving in every sense of the word, okay? She is giving Iman meets Grace Jones meets just, it was everything. It was everything. We also meet Caroline Stansbury. She is British. She's married currently. I don't know if this is her second or third marriage or whatever, but she's recently divorced, but she just got remarried to Sergio, who we meet later. She's a mom of three. She's an entrepreneur and also an aspiring hotelier. I guess she wants to open up a chain of hotels or whatnot. She's also been living in Dubai for the past 6 years. Next, we meet Nina Ali. She's Lebanese American. She's a married mom of three, and she is a mommy influencer as well as a CEO. Caroline Brooks. She's American. I believe she's from Massachusetts, more specifically. She's a divorced mom of one. She's an entrepreneur and a spa enthusiast, which I thought was super interesting. And finally, we have Lisa Milan. She's Jamaican American. She's a married mom of three, and she is a maternity fashion designer. So All of them have, like I said before, have a lot going on in their lives. They're very successful, very beautiful, and I am so excited to see some fresh faces. Ugh. So moving right along, we are formally introduced to the first housewife, which is Chanel Ayan, as I said previously, and she breaks it down for us in not one, not two, not three, but overall 4 languages of how she is a bad bitch. And don't get it up. And I was like, okay, I was here for it. I was here for it. And we're introduced to her in all of her modeling glory, dripping in gold in the sand dunes of Dubai, just giving face, giving body, giving grace, giving elegance, giving it all in one. And I'm like, whoa, I wasn't ready. I did not know this was happening.
Hey, queen.
I didn't know, but now I know. And I loved it. I just overall, I love her voice. And she says she ain't bragging, but she knows that she's that bitch. Like I said before, through and through. And she's not going to let us forget it. I know for a fact she is not going to let us forget that this season or any seasons to come. She says that she is from a very small village in Kenya. She moved to Dubai with her husband 18 years ago. And that is where her modeling career began after she was approached by a gentleman. She has modeled for Van Cleef, Versace. I'm not exactly sure who else, but the list goes on. And she's there with her son. She is also a self-professed cool mom, and I'm loving it, like I said before. Next, we formally meet Caroline Stansbury, or, well, I guess she has a different last name now, because we learned that she just recently got married to her young tenderoni, Sergio, just 3 days ago. And she's currently sitting in her pissy ass bed. Let me stop. Dog peed on a bed. And I was like, well, so you're going to get up and handle that or not? But that's your business, I guess. Couldn't be me. But she's 45 and Sergio is 27. So there's quite an age gap there, but that's their business, not mine. And I believe she only finalized her divorce like last year, like a year before this filmed or whatever, but she's out of that. And she originally moved to Dubai 7 years ago with her ex-husband and her 3 kids. I love her confessional looks. I cannot even hold you. I mean, I don't think so far there's been any confessional looks or looks overall that I hated with the lady. Oh, actually, yes, there is one, but we'll get into that. I love her confessional looks. I don't know if it's the platforms. I don't know if it's what it is, but I love it. And Sergio, I was just like, God, he's tan as fuck. Like, ooh, tan AF. I'm like, is he gonna get this? Is it gonna come? I hope it don't come off on the bed sheets, because I'll be pissed. But anyway. So Nina comes over and she's bringing a fruitcake, and I was like, oh my God, that's so nice and kind. I hate fruitcake though, so please, if you ever come to my house, just bring me a pound cake. That's my favorite cake to bring, to have, to eat. Bring me a pound cake and I'll love you forever. But anyway, it's not about me, it's about them. They speak about how Caroline, who is Jewish, and Sergio, who is Catholic, were not able to marry in Dubai because of that, and her being divorced as well just was not going to work. So they actually had to flee to Mauritius and get married over there, and now they're planning her hen party, which is a bachelorette party, as well as the wedding reception that all of their loved ones can be. And we will see that in the episodes to come, I'm sure. But I think that's it for that scene. So we also meet Lisa, and she is at home with her sons. It's 103 degrees, but what else could I expect? It's the desert. So what do they do in 103 degree weather? They get $1,200 worth of ice delivered. Cause why? Because we in Dubai. So that's what we gonna fucking do. And we got money to do so. So I was like, okay, girl. You like it, I love it. She said anything for her kids. And I was like, okay. We learned that her husband has a successful career in finance. friends. They also met in Miami back in 2012 and have been together for the past 10 years ever since. Their kids, which was also very interesting to me, their kids all have 3 different accents because her husband is British, she's Jamaican American, and so one kid has like a British accent, one has a Jamaican accent, one has an American accent. I was like, that was cute. It was real funny. But they seem like they have a really great family, and I loved every minute that we got to spend with them. She started her brand 5 years ago. Her brand is Mina Rowe. It is a maternity line, and she said she started it because when she was pregnant, she couldn't find any suitable clothing. So why not? You know, you see a problem as an entrepreneur, we see a problem, we see an opportunity, and we go full force with it. And look, it turned out really well for her. I'm here for it. Next, we see Caroline Brooks, that is, and she's spending some time with her son. I'm gonna just let you know now, since there's 2 Carolines on the show, I might call one Stansbury and I might call the other one Brooks, or Caroline S and Caroline B, whatever. Stay with me, y'all. I'll try to be as clear as possible. But she says that she's from Massachusetts and she has lived in Dubai for the past 12 years, thanks to her ex-husband, who she was married to for, I believe it was like 7 years. When she left that marriage, she said, all right, I'm good on everything, just I need my son, and that's all I need from this. And I was like, okay. Nothing like a woman who knows damn well that she can build it all back and then some. And that's just what she did. Apparently, she's so successful that she got 2, not 1, but 2 cribs. And we learn in this episode, if you didn't know, now you know, that the real estate in Dubai is very much, very, very, very expensive. So she got her weight got home, she got this home, she got the housekeeper, she's zeroed down head to toe. So mama's got it going on, if you ask me. We also learned that she's planning to open a business in Dubai and is looking for locations to house that business currently. Circling back, we see Lisa and Ion pulling up in designer head to toe. Oh my goodness, I was living for those Valentino. That is very from this past season. Valentino, she had the platform pumps on, Mary Jane's, whatever. I was like, oh yes, and the bag, and I saw Bottega. I was like, oh yeah. I was lipping through them at that very moment. I'm sorry, but I was. If you're with me, let me know in the comments. I loved it. Like, you see my energy right now? This is how I was the entire show. I was like, yes, give it to me. And they did just that. But they're meeting up, having a little kiki, having a little drinky drink, having a little eat. Did I really just say eat? Yes, I did. Anyway, but we learned that they met some years ago when Ion modeled for Lisa. And everything is cool. They're good. They're great or whatever. They're just talking. And Ion asks if she is going to be attending Hermes with her, if Lisa's going to be attending Hermes with her. And she's like, sorry, I have to cancel plans because of Caroline Stansbury's hen party. And she's like, but we've been had these plans for weeks. Like, really, girl? And I'm like, ooh, this is going to be messy. And clearly it's like, clearly if she's still asking about Hermes, it's because she's not invited. So I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. And this is when we find out that Ion and Stansbury are, let's just say, less than friends. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But then, speaking of the devil, or kind of, sort of, Caroline Brooks calls, and she is like talking about like, okay, so what you gonna wear to Stansbury's party? Like, I'm trying to come through like this, not too much. You know, I want, obviously all the attention on her. It's her event, and, Lisa's like, yeah. And we know, as we've seen in other franchises and stuff like that, they have to answer the phone on speaker / it's probably stage, who knows, whatever. But phone's on speaker, so of course, like, Aya's like, oh, girl, what are you doing? Like, we were at lunch. Like, really? And before we know it, the next question that comes up is Brooks goes to Lisa and says, did you hear, like, word on the curb is that Ion is not invited to Stansbury's hen party. Dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, oh, here we go. We just kicked it off for real now, because Ion's like, I'm here. Hang up the phone. Like, really? Or she's gonna say that. Like, I am right here. Hang up the phone. We're at lunch. Oh my God, stop it. And I'm just like, oh boy. And Lisa, she says that she feels like she's always in the middle of these two's stuff. But at the end of the day, she's always gonna be rocking with Ion. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna see how that's gonna play out in the future. Overall, I love their energy together, and I want to see more scenes with them. And I'm like, oh boy, Ion's about to get it started for real going forward. I knew right then and there that this is not going to be the last that we hear of her not being invited to Stansbury's party. Next scene, we see that we are getting up for the hen party, and the yacht looks great, super elegant. I was like, I want to be there as well, toasting, being, wined and dined with my fabulous friends. I was like, that is what I'm like, it's like what I'm supposed to be doing. I just feel it, like, and I'm like, okay, this is me manifesting it right now. Yes. But Caroline's outfit, I'm sorry, but like, I just have to say, like, when I first saw her with the pulled sleeves and everything, all I thought is like a very beautiful, elegantly placed tablecloth napkin. I was like, I'm sorry, that's all I got with the sleeves. It was giving dinner set napkin. Sorry. Overall, she looked beautiful, but besides that, but I just gotta, I gotta point that out. And we find out that Sergio, he didn't want a stag do, which is the equivalent of a bachelor party. So he is there with the girls, and he's fine with that. He doesn't do anything the normal way, we find out. I'm like, whatever. Again, that's y'all's business in my Tabitha voice. So we also see the ladies arrive. Brooks has got a lot going on. She, at first with the shoes, and then the this and the that, and I was like, okay, but Lisa's still emitting great energy, however, and the party is super intimate. Caroline Stansbury said that she wanted, just her closest friends and stuff there, and it is that's what it is giving. It is very intimate, cheerful, and I was thinking the whole time, like, GVO. That's all I was thinking the whole time. Quickly, we see Lisa ask Brooks if she had, and I believe it was after Nina said that she's like missing Ion's presence. Lisa asked Brooks if she has an issue with Ion, and Brooks says, no, more like I ain't heard from her in a month. And this is when we definitively find out that Ion and Brooks's relationship is more kind of like, I don't know if you want to call it frenemies, or when they're good, when they're not, they're not. So we will see more of that play out as the season progresses, I'm sure. And this is also, oh my God, this is also, when I tell you I screamed at this part when Brooks said, when Ion comes in the room, it's garment first, feathers first, flying all up in your mouth, and wig be back there coming in 30 seconds after, or whatever she said. I was like, yo, why did you have to say that? I know it's gonna come back during the reunion, if not sooner. Funny. But we also see they start to play games, and it looked fun, but This is when we find out that most of like the inappropriate gag gifts, bachelorette, bachelor favors types things, they are like prohibited or unavailable in Dubai, which wasn't a surprise to me, because I know how like the culture and how things are there. That would make sense. Alcohol is also very controlled. It's a very controlled item there, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. And this also made me think of when, I think it was Lisa, when she said that it is very safe to be living in Dubai. That's why she chose to live there and raise her black sons there. And I was like, all of this, I feel like works together and allows it to be the place that it is, and reeking of just opulence and happiness, and it's got it going on. I'm literally texting my husband as this episode is going, talking about when are we going to Dubai, and he said, let's get it done. And I was like, okay, bet. So hopefully I'm speaking into existence again. There's a lot of manifestations in this video. I'm gonna just say that we will be going there, not this year. You know, our anniversary is, if you didn't know, our anniversary is on New Year's Eve, and I plan on being there for New Year's next year. So, which technically I guess will be 2024, but whatever. So, Stansbury was lit, and I was like, I mean, that's how you're supposed to be. But I was like, okay. And so after the hen party, we see Nina, who's actually, we find out she's grown up in Austin, Texas, although she was born in Lebanon. She's out with her kids, and then we see Sarah roll up with her son, and they're taking their kids to, what was it called? The tallest arch in the world. They're taking the kids there, and I thought that was so cute. And they have a lot in common. They were speaking Arabic to one another at one point, and I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I just like love that. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. It's just like the freshness of this show, the presentation of it all. At one point, we got like we were seeing all the ladies get ready, but it wasn't like the normal like cheesy, just like pop in with the little like elevator music type thing with the ladies. Like it was like, I was like, okay, like what's next? Like it was a whole vibe. I really like that. And that's kind of the tempo of the whole show. Let me know if you guys agree with that in the comments, or what you think of just how this show was wrapped up and presented to us. I'm like, was it giving in the same ways that the other franchises give in the normal ways, or did you feel that freshness as well? Like I said, this is after the hen party. Again, we find out that Sarah's a rebel. I like it. I'm here for it. All of the ladies, again, if I haven't said it already, very beautiful. I loved everybody has their own unique styles, and I am just about it all. She let us know that she's divorced, as I said previously, and she was quick to say she ain't saying nowhere that she not happy or that doesn't suit her. And I was like, that energy right there, I could go with her. I was cool with that. I ain't saying nowhere that ain't serving me. Period. I think that was it for that scene. The final scene we get is Nina's rooftop party with all the ladies overlooking the Burj Khalifa building. It was super, super nice. Love the tablescape. All the women look beautiful, and I was like, okay, this is going to be an all cast event. And I think it was Brooks came first, then it was Sarah, then it was Lisa, then it was Stansbury, then it was Ion making her grand entrance. And she exudes self-confidence, and the admiration that she has for herself clearly makes some of the other ladies uncomfortable. And I'm like, that makes sense. And I've also heard, like I said before, Lisa was on College Hill back in the day apparently, and Stansbury was on Ladies of London or something like that, where apparently she was kind of a mean girl. She was like the queen bee, but she was a mean girl. And I was like, maybe that is why she doesn't really see it for Ion so much, because she knows that that's kind of like a person that she has to look out for. That would be like her competition for, you know, the top spot or whatever. So maybe that's why she's not too, you know, for her. And I was like, okay, well, that would make sense then, right? But all the women, they begin talking about the hen party and like just going on and kikiing about that. And of course, Ion's like, she's like, okay, like, can we stop doing this? Because I wasn't there and I don't want to hear about that shit. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I get it, but I was like, at the same time, I was like, I didn't really expect anything less from her. But I was just like, oh boy, here we go. And I think it was Sarah speaks up first and is like, we're talking about another woman's happiness. Like, and then I was like, again, I like Sarah's energy. I like all the women's energy, kind of. Maybe that's because I'm a Gemini and I'm like over here, then over here, then over here. I don't know. And I think it was Caroline Brooks that says next. She's like, I think I have it in my notes here. Yeah, she chimes in and kind of agrees with that statement. And I was just like, yeah, Ion, you do sound a little bothered, sis. I'm not gonna lie. But Ion quickly calls out Brooks about a supposed comment she made in reference to Ion not being important enough to have attended Stansbury's hen party. And she was like, you know, how dare you, basically she was like, how dare you say that I'm not important enough? Like, how dare you say that? And like, I would be offended by that comment too, obviously. And she kept saying, Caroline Brooks kept saying, like, she didn't say that, she didn't say that, she didn't say that, until Sarah, like, things get crazy for a second. And Sarah basically comes and jumps in and is like, did you say that? And she was like, no. Did you say, she asked Stansbury that. She was like, did you say that? And she was like, no. And then she asked Caroline Brooks, she's like, did you say that? And she was like, no. But then she was like, actually, she was like, if I did or whatever, it was because I was saying that for me, not as if Stansbury said that. And I was like, okay. And then in the same breath, Stansbury is like, yeah, well, I'm saying that now. So basically saying like, yeah, I don't want with you. Or you know, you're not important enough to hang with me now, because she's picking up on Ion's energy or whatever she's seeing of her. They knew of each other before, but I guess now she's seeing more about how her true colors or their whatever, from being in this more intimate social setting, and whatever whatever Ion's putting down, Caroline is just not trying to pick it up. And I'm just like, we're not going to see the last of this. And that's pretty much it for now. I guess we will pick up next week at the conclusion of this rooftop party. But I'm not really too worried about anything with all of these relationships and friendships, because right now it's still only episode 1. And in the season, we see in the clips from the season that they're gonna be back friends, and these people are gonna be hugging and friends. And so don't get your britches in a bunch, y'all. We also see Miss Faye is gonna be making an appearance. I guess she's good friends with, I want to say, Caroline Brooks or whoever else. And I was just like, wow, here we go. Couldn't get on one franchise, so I guess you popping up as a friend on another. Whatever, not my business. But that is my recap and review for the Real Housewives of Dubai, y'all. I'm sorry this is kind of late, but better late than never, right? I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this new franchise. As you can say, I am here for it. I really loved it. I am excited to see, I think it comes on Wednesday nights. I'm excited to see what this week has in store for us. And again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until next time, you guys, bye.